Boy, it was an exhilarating All-Star Open just a little while ago, wasn't it? And now, it's time for the big guns to come out and play. It is the annual One-Up All-Star Race from Lebanon Valley Speedway, where 25 of the best in the Superstar Series do battle for 80 laps around the High Bank dirt track in eastern New York. And alongside me in the booth to bring you all the action today is someone who unfortunately was not able to transfer into this race through the Open, but someone we value just as much in the broadcast booth. It's Duke Ansack, back for his first Superstar broadcast in quite a long time. Great to have you with us. So one thing I do want to mention, that Open race was thrilling, and with this caliber of drivers expected to take on twice as long a race as the Open was, I expect this to be just as good a race, if not better, than what we saw a moment ago.
Oh yeah, this is going to be absolutely fantastic. It is such a fun track to go out there, race. I mean, it is just a fantastic facility here. It is tough, disappointing to not be in the big show today, but I'm so glad I'm going to get to watch it up here in the booth and bring the action to everybody that way, and allow myself to be part of it and kind of weasel my way into the All-Star race one way or another here. But yeah, this is going to be absolutely awesome, and I am pumped for this race.
So we've got 80 laps on tap for this race. We've had 3 drivers transfer in through the Open. They start at the rear. Everyone else in the field has set their starting position for a random draw, which took place last weekend. As we can now bring you the starting lineup for this All-Star race, and we've got, ironically enough, the defending Superstar Series champion and the defending Nitro National Series champion on the front row together. It is Jeffrey Finguy on the inside, Cody Goforth to his outside. And you don't even have to go that far back to find the defending Turbo Truck Series champion, DJ Curtis, making his debut in a Superstar car. He lines up in 6th position. We've got a lot of other contenders, though, in this race. Devin Fair, who won this race a year ago, lining up 11th. Jake McMillan back in a Superstar car for a one-off appearance, starting 15th. And you gotta keep in mind as well, those Open drivers who transferred in, the Open winner, Chase Chris, starting 23rd. The runner-up, Ryan Griffin, starting 24th. And, of course, the fan vote winner, Kev Shearer, starting shotgun on the field in 25th place. It's hard to win from back there, but as we saw in the Open, it is very much possible to gain positions from the back to the front here.
Absolutely, and these drivers are going to be all or nothing today. There's nothing to lose if you go out there and you wreck, or you go out there and maybe make an enemy or spin out or do whatever it is. The repercussions today are close to zero. Other than maybe a little bit of ego that you might lose by wrecking yourself trying to win this race. But, you just need to win. That's all that matters. Nobody's going to remember who finishes in 2nd, 3rd, 4th. You have to be the winner of the All-Star race. So that means every single person is fighting for just that one spot. No points on the line. Everything else does not matter. You got to be in victory lane to be remembered for winning this race.
So with that being said, we've got 25 of the best here to take on 80 laps at Lebanon Valley. And we are ready to bring you that action now. It is the One-Up All-Star race, and the green flag getting set to get this great race underway. If it's anything like the Open, I expect it to be a thrill ride. So stay tuned, folks. You're not going to want to miss a second of what's to come here today. Getting ready for something big. It is no points, all for nothing, and here we go. It is Jeffrey Finguy, Cody Goforth on the front row. Green flag in the air, and the All-Star race gets underway. Even launch for the top 2, and Cody Goforth actually looks like he's going to get the launch through 1 and 2, but I expect that bottom lane to be quite prevalent throughout the entirety of these 80 laps.
Yeah, Finguy on the bottom there. It looks like, that 64 just going to drop down in front of him. He needed to get all the way down in front of that 92. He just wasn't able to, and now they stay side by side for the lead.
But Goforth did lead that lap. Of course, no bonus point for it. We got no points in this race, but still a very solid showing out of this 64 car, as it looks like everybody's made it for the first lap clean. We make it through 3 and 4 here. Finguy's going to try and stick a nose under Goforth, as Nomina in the 80 tries to go for it on the outside of Rasha Mahendra to go up to 3rd place.
Yeah, and the thing about this track is that you can use that outside lane a little bit to get some momentum down the straightaway. We're watching Cody Goforth do that on the outside lane right now, but it's really not the preferred lane to be in. You just, oh, and he's in the wall, I think. Wow, that is not the place that you want to be when you're trying to take the lead from this race. And now I think that Finn guy on the bottom, yeah, he's going to have plenty of space now as the leader for sure. No contest.
And you got to be careful about that access gate out of turn 4. We've seen it cause troubles in the past here at Lebanon Valley, and I'm sure it'll cause a little here today as well. As look at DJ Curtis down on the inside, the defending Truck Series champion, first time in a superstar car. He's going for third.
Hey.
But look at Rasha Mahendra in this 42.
Yeah.
He's going for the lead on Finn guy.
Yeah, Mahendra, he snuck to the bottom there a little bit, got to the quarter panel of our leader, but he wasn't able to stay down there. He was able to dive in kind of in the front of the corner, a little bit like the 64 is right now for that second position, but the 64 is going to get it done, and the 09 on the bottom, they're 3 wide on the straightaway.
Very impressive stuff from DJ Curtis and Goforth and Rasha Mahendra. All these guys we don't normally see at the front of a superstar race. Heck, DJ Curtis is in one of these cars for the very first time, but he's showing he's got what it takes to race these things and race them well. As he sails past Mahendra on the top of the racetrack, he is going to take the lead, or second place rather, as they dive it off down in the turn 3. But whoa, Mahendra's going way up the track, going up, and he hits the outside wall, gets in the Goforth, and they go down the track into the wall hard. That's going to bring out a caution flag for the first time today, with Goforth and Nomina with some significant contact.
Man, that is some fast cars that have had some big issues here. That is likely going to take both of these cars out of contention, if not out of this race. Man, so early in the event, but you gotta fight hard to get those positions and get the track position so that you can be there at the end. And then, whoa!
I think Nomina was trying to hurry to get to his track position back, but in the process did not see where he was going and just plowed into the back of Zayden Davidson, who was in 6th place at the time.
Oh my gosh, that is completely unnecessary, and now the 4 car has a ton of damage on the rear end. That is going to be devastating for that team. My gosh.
So, Cody Goforth already out of the race, which we hate to see. He was having such a strong run to begin this race. As Nomina now pulls it down pit road, I would expect he would retire from the race as well, considering the damage on that car, both on the back end and on the front now. And he pulls it down pit road. We'll take a look. He's going to try and get back in, but with that level of damage, I don't know if it's sustainable or not. So you can see Nomina right behind Goforth, but it really starts with Mahendra going way up the racetrack, catching the end of that gate, comes down into the 64 and the 80. Nowhere for those two really to go except into the inside wall.
Yeah, and Mahendra was on the outside there of DJ Curtis, and just got a little bit loose, chased the car up the track in the middle of the corner, and you're right, just hit that gate a little bit, came down the track. Nobody had anywhere to go.
One more look at this, and you see Goforth. Mahendra, yeah, you're right. He was just trying to avoid hitting the 09, but in the process, collected 2 more very good cars in this race. Yeah. Goforth, of course, won the Nitro National Championship last year. That's how he made this race. Jensen Nomina, of course, won the Southern 500 last year. So these are very potent drivers, but goes to show you, no one is perfectly safe here in this All-Star race.
Yeah, I mean, it was a crash right up near the front. I mean, these were some really, really fast cars that were in this. I was just about to compliment Mahendra on how well he was running in this race, and he was just getting passed by DJ Curtis, who also deserves some compliments here. That 09 car has been absolutely fantastic. Just at the very end of that run before the caution, that car was really, really good. But it's that's how it goes in the All-Star race. You have to be aggressive. You have to fight for every inch you can on this track, and that time it just didn't work out for everybody.
No, but it sucks for Nomina and Goforth, because Nomina doesn't get a lot of chances in these superstar cars, at least not yet. And Goforth's had a pretty rough season in this series as it is, but they'll be back in their respective series to try again and hopefully get a good run to kickstart their seasons, as we're going to have a couple more laps here under this yellow flag. But you did mention you wanted to give some calls in this race to some guys putting on a good show. I would love to do the same. DJ, I hate to beat a dead horse, even if it's very much alive on the side of that car, but DJ Curtis has had a very solid day so far, considering this is his first time in a superstar car. Rasha Mahendra as well. Mahendra made this race, of course, by winning at the Denver road course last year. That was a very impressive race that I didn't expect at all, but it qualified him for this race, and he is making the most of it. He is currently in third place, right where he started the day.
Yeah, you know, but just behind them, that 4 car of Zayden Davison, I'm just curious how that car is going to handle and how it's going to race. You know, here we're racing at a dirt track, obviously. It is a bit of a large facility. We've got some high-speed racing here, so that spoiler a little bit farther down, a little bit out of the air, some rear-end damage. We'll see how that car handles after this. I hope for the case of that team that they're able to continue without too much issue, but there is some big damage on the rear end of that machine.
Looking back at the rest of the top 10 now, Stephen Gale runs 5th, Echo Evans Ross 6th, Joshua Michaels 7th, Patrick Smith 8th, Devin Fair, and Ryan Caggiano completing the top 10 in this race as the pace car gets ready to pull off, and we're going to get this race restarted now on about lap 14.
So a big restart coming up right now. We're all single file again, so it might not be as chaotic as that initial start was when they were double file, but the green flag is in the air. Everybody's ripping up through the gears, and we're down into turn 1, and I'm excited to see if DJ Curtis has anything for our leader.
Well, Zayden Davidson sure has something for Rasha Mahendra. Maybe he just got better launch speed off the line, because it looks as though right now Mahendra is able to defend that a little bit on the outside. That's a sign that either Mahendra has a really good car under him, or that damage is impacting Zayden Davidson more than we perhaps thought.
Yeah, we'll see. This is going to be fascinating because these are 2 damaged cars right here, but they're keeping up with pretty much everybody else. So my worry about their damage is going down lap by lap, turn by turn. These 2 battling for the 3rd position.
Meanwhile, out front, Jeffrey Finguy has led all but 1 lap so far in this race, but he is being hounded by his protege, DJ Curtis, who, remember, is one of the best of the business when it comes to the Turbo Truck Series. 2 wins down there and a series championship. But like we keep saying, this is his first time driving anything other than a turbo truck, and he's doing absolute magic in that car. As Michaels, I'm sure that's what you were commenting on, sailed down the inside, got past Davidson, and is working on Mahendra at the same time.
Yeah, it looked like he was going to get both of them in one corner. That would have been absolutely incredible, but he does have to settle in behind that 42 car, but the 6 right now, Joshua Michaels, is looking like it is fast, and the 4 car might be suffering from that damage a little bit now. He's lost 3 positions in the last 2 laps, and he's going even farther back, stuck on the outside lane.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for Zayden. He's having a bit of a sophomore slump this season, but I hope he'll rebound for the next points race we go to in the series. And how about this run out of Ryan Caggiano? He's only made, I believe, 3 points races this season out of the 9 we have run, but he's a former All-Star race winner. He won this event back in 2022, and he is putting that Crossroads Racing number 31 through its paces at the moment. He is going for 7th place right there.
Yeah, that's a fantastic run for this 31 car, and he has got that line dialed in on the bottom lane, and that's where you need to be in this race. You can see the lower you can get, the better you can get around this place, and there's our leader who has pulled quite a bit away from the 09 car at this point. The 42 is still holding off everybody else for that 3rd position, and there's the 31 going through the corner. Really, I mean, that corner, the center of the corner speed for the 31 car is unmatched right now. He is just fantastic in the middle of the corner. That thing is rotating like you wouldn't even believe, and now he's up even more positions.
He's knocking on the door to top 5 is Ryan Caggiano, trying to get past Stephen Gale, and here comes Christian Vargas in the 54. He started this race down at 17th. He is looking to make some gains here. He has never won this All-Star race despite being a 2-time champion of the series, so wouldn't that be something if he could charge all the way up? As we now look at Dylan Young in his final All-Star race, he started this race down at 16th. He's knocking on the door to top 10 as well.
Yeah, and this is just a bunch of cars that are having really good runs, and it's kind of a line of cars right now on that bottom lane that are just kind of moving and grooving, passing cars one by one, lap by lap, making sure to not get in any too big of a trouble here. We've still got plenty of time in this race, and there's the 31 sneaking up to try to get. Oh, he's going to end up on the outside lane now. Oh, he's not going to let him get low. That's definitely a good call from the 31. And now back on the bottom lane and passing more cars. This is going to be fast charge to the front. I'm curious what the 31 will be able to do once he gets up into that third position, maybe with DJ Curtis and our leader as well. But the fight is not over for the fourth spot.
No, it is not. Joshua Michaels did not take too kindly to being harassed out of the groove by Ryan Caggiano, and now he's sending one up the inside on the 31 to try and get the fourth spot back. Sure enough, he does. Could this leave Caggiano vulnerable, perhaps, if he stays up in that outside for long enough? But is it just me, or is DJ Curtis starting to reel in the leader a little bit?
Might be starting to reel in the leader a little bit. I was just noticing that they're both pretty far ahead of everybody else because they've been battling, and they're behind that damaged 42 car of Mahendra, who, to be fair, is absolutely just holding them off at this point. But that car is a little bit damaged, and right now is running a little bit slower than our leaders, but just about a second and a half off pace. But yeah, the 09 car you can see in the same frame as the leader now.
And let's not forget, these are team cars at Fingai Saitomi Motorsports. They have 5 cars in this All-Star race. Normally you're only allowed 4, but Curtis being eligible for this race, they were granted an exception for this 1 week only. So here is DJ Curtis. He's beating all of his full-time teammates at the moment, other than Fingai out in the lead.
Yeah, it's an incredible run from DJ Curtis, and that whole organization obviously is doing a fantastic job to have 5 entries in this race where there is a certain amount of exclusivity to the entry list. I mean, that is just an incredible feat from that team that should be celebrated in this sport for the amount of accomplishment that they have had recently. So here we are looking a little bit farther back in the pack, and it's much the same story as far as the inside lane working pretty well. We've got a little bit of battle from the outside lane as well, but right now it's just a little bit inside dominated. You want to get down there, you want to rotate through the corner and keep your momentum up around this racetrack.
Yeah, we were looking for a while at Chase Christ, the All-Star Open winner, trying to see how far up the field he had climbed up. He caught up to his teammates, Lane Sanders and Julio Caesar. Of course, their other teammate, Jensen Nomina, out of the race already. But the Sanders Performance Autosport cars all running together now. And Ryan Griffin, unfortunately, finished second in that Open. He's yet to make a whole ton of headway in this race. He's still kind of at the back of the field, with Kev Shearer, the fan vote winner, still bringing up the rear in 23rd. But that's not to say we haven't got any racing action to show you. Far from it. We've got a lot to show you. Up in the tail end of the top 10, here's Devin Fair trying to make a move to the inside of Patrick Smith. Fair, one of 3 drivers in this race, where if he were to win, would become the first 2-time All-Star winner, the others being Ryan Caggiano and Jeffrey Fingai.
Yeah, and that 22 car got really high up off of the corner. That last time might have touched the wall just a little bit. You know, a little bit of wall contact is not terrible here. You know, you just kind of scrape it a little bit and move on with your day, especially in this superstar car that we have with the composite body. It kind of just will bounce back into place and not really bend in on the tires or anything like that. So a little bit of wall contact is okay. You don't want to have more than that, though. You could really bend a toe link or get some big damage, especially if you hit it at that gate opening. So you don't want to be near the wall, but if you do touch it, you're going to be okay for a little bit, especially at this track.
Yeah, case in point, Rasha Mahendra able to hold on to 3rd place so well in that
Project. He hit it pretty hard, too.
Yeah, in that Project Horizon Racing 42, he's doing a fantastic job staying on the podium today. But I think, barring any calamity, it's going to be a battle between the Master and the Apprentice, Curtis and Fingai, in the reverse order. They are battling for the lead hard, because Curtis now has the gap under half a second.
Yeah, he's really starting to close in a little bit here, and you know, it's kind of just little by little gaining some time, gaining pace up to the front, and just kind of learning here. You know, it's get some and it's lose some, and we've still got over half this race remaining. So the 09 car not in a big hurry at this moment to try to get up and make that pass for the lead. But you want to get a move on soon here so that you can give yourself enough time to do it and possibly not get passed.
But meanwhile, Stephen Gale, I'm looking at here in this 52, he's doing a pretty nice job of trying to get by Rasha Mahendra. He made the pass on Joshua Michaels a little while ago for 4th place. He's trying to chase after Mahendra. Remember, Gale was the last driver to qualify for this All-Star race beforehand. He won at Talladega a couple weeks ago. So, good on him for making the most of that opportunity. He now runs in 4th spot, trying to chase down Mahendra. But if I were Jeffrey Finguy, I'd start asking my spotter, where is the 09 beating me? Where is he running where I'm not? What can I start trying to try and hold him at bay?
Yeah, and honestly, right now, it could be a little bit of pace management for our leader as well.
Yeah, and I'm starting to think that maybe this damage on this 4 car is a little more significant than I perhaps thought. He has fallen all the way back now to just the tail of the top 20 now. So Zayden Davidson having a real struggle at the moment to just even hang on to his car at the moment, because look, Zachary DeLello right behind him, Jake McMillan, and Kev Shearer. Those are the only cars behind him at the moment. He is riding in 20th at the moment.
Yeah, and honestly, with the Davidson car, well, here's a 3-wide battle that we have a little bit for the 6th position, 7th position on the track. They are 3 wide, but just to kind of close that off with the Davidson car back there. Oh, there's the 31 on the outside. He hit the wall.
He hit that gate just like Mahendra did earlier, and that is going to set Caggiano back 2 places. He got passed by Fair and Vargas at that point. Hopefully, the damage is not significant to that 31. You see the fender pushed in a little bit, but hopefully it's not anything too serious, and he can keep going on, because this has been a very solid run for Caggiano so far.
Yeah, well, the critical parts of these cars are happening kind of underneath the vehicle. You can see it on the 92 car when he passes our camera. That diffuser back there is what is separating the air, organizing the air that flows underneath the car, allows these cars to kind of suction to the ground, creating downforce from below. And that might be why the Davidson car is struggling so much. That rear end is so important because of that diffuser there. So even here at a dirt track, you're going to be suffering from if that gets damaged. So that's possibly what's going on, an aerodynamic issue with Zayden Davidson. But hopefully for the 31 team at least, that damage is on the sides, not as critical of an element, especially at this track on these superstar cars.
No, but you got to keep in mind if any repeated hits to that same area could really weaken it more and more. As Finguy goes really high out of that corner.
Yeah, wow, it allowed the 09 to get right up to the bumper of our leader. This could be a battle.
It very much is a battle for the race lead. Curtis right up to the back of Jeffrey Finguy. This could be the moment he's been waiting for here. As Finguy got a little high out of the corner last time by, it has very much opened the door for DJ Curtis right now to sneak to the inside.
Wow.
He's going for it.
That's incredible. He really just rotated the middle of the corner and jumped down low of our leader. And now they're side by side for the lead. We haven't seen anybody challenge the 92 other than DJ Curtis in this race so far. The 92 is in the wall battling for the lead.
It doesn't look as serious as Mahendra's or Caggiano's, but it did allow DJ Curtis to lead that last lap, and it allows him to clear for the lead right now. We're coming to 30 laps to go, and we have a new leader in town, and it's DJ Curtis. But Finguy
is incredible.
He doesn't want to give this race up yet, and I think, yeah, we've got caution on the speedway. Perfect timing for Curtis to get that, as it looks as though Chase Christ, our open winner, is the one involved in this one.
Wow, that is incredible timing for the 09 car. It would have been devastating to catch up to the 92 and do all that work to get there and then just absolutely get that run decimated by the caution, and he was able to get the lead, which is fantastic. And we'll see what happened here. We've got a little bit more contact in the field as everybody slowed down.
It looks as though Jake McMillan had an issue before this. He's 2 laps down now. He'll get one of them back with the free pass, but it looks like Chase Christ was the main car involved in this caution. He is on pit road, and that really stinks for Chase Christ. His Cinderella story, making it through the Open, has come to an early end with 30 to go still in this all-star race. But DJ Curtis, like you said, he got the lead at the right time, and we're going to get you replays here in a moment of what in the world unfolded with that 46. So Chase Chris was running at the tail of the field anyway, and he gets just too high out of the groove, goes up the track. Oh, and he does hit that gate. We were hoping this wouldn't happen this weekend, but sure enough, Chase Chris got caught out by that access gate, was flung into the air. It's a miracle he was able to keep that car going through all that, but that is his race over.
Honestly, that is stunning that car continues to roll after that incident. I mean, he just got through the corner, and then it's exactly what happened to Mahendra earlier.
Yeah, one more look at this, and you can only go so high here before you lose grip and just, oh my God. That was severe for Chase Chris. No wonder they retired the car. There's hardly anything left on that front end to salvage. And you see Jake McMillan on pit road already. He, we believe, had a flat tire, so they were fixing that. He went 2 laps down, and he should get one of them back now via the free pass. Oh, but it looks like he's smoking down the back. Wow. McMillan looks to be out of this race now. I'm wondering... Oh, my God. Oh, and it looks like some more cars have some big damage, and there are 2 leaders.
Oh, my goodness. This is crazy what has happened under this caution.
The question becomes, did McMillan hit those 2 while he was taking his free pass? And sure enough, they're coming to pit road. Curtis and Finguy, the dominators of this race, are looked to be at least out of contention for the win, if not out of the race altogether.
That is devastating for these drivers. Look, the 09 has big rear end damage, you can see, and I think that the front end of the 92 car, so I don't know exactly what happened. You can put those pieces together however you want. We're going to have to see if we have a replay on this. There's the 92.
I don't think we do, at least not yet. I'm sure some will come to light after this is all said and done. But, yeah, that is difficult. Because, look, the front end of Finguy's car shorn off. The back end of Curtis's likewise. They're going to have their work cut out for them if they're going to if they're going to make their way back to the front. They've got fast cars, but will that damage be their Achilles heel today? As look who cycled out to the lead in all this. It's the Indonesian sophomore Rasha Mahendra.
I mean, Mahendra has been just quietly running in that 3rd position. We saw that incident earlier, so this is a damaged race car for the 42 team, and right now has taken the lead by inheriting it under the caution chaos here at lap 55. Our 2 leaders now have cycled to the back of the field with big damage. I don't know how those cars are going to perform after this. We'll have to keep an eye on that because we know how fast those 2 cars are in this race. But Mahendra has an incredible opportunity right here. He was doing such a good job defending that 3rd position against everybody who was charging towards the front. And now that 3rd position has turned into the lead of the race. We'll see if he can continue now that it's battling for the top spot.
From a supporting role to the star of the show, Rasha Mahendra, with 25 laps to go, is going to lead this all-star field back to green. And for Curtis and Finguy, they're mired back in 20th and 21st. We'll see how far up the field they can get in these final 25 laps.
Yeah, and that's a good start from the 42 so far. He's really ripping up through the gears now. Everybody else is staying kind of behind, and there's the 62 a little bit lower. The 6 is even lower than that. And we've seen these cars all kind of get a little bit of damage in the race. You can see the 62 has some fender damage. The 42 has some damage on the right side, we know, from hitting the wall, the access gate earlier. And now everybody's kind of running a little bit closer to the front. But Mahendra is keeping it underneath him right now and keeping that lead and starting to pull away even.
What a win this would be for Rasha Mahendra if he can hold on to it. This would be huge for that tiny little Project Horizon racing team. Be their everything. But now Patrick Smith's got to pick up the baton for Finguy Saitomi Motorsports. He is now their lead car, battling for 5th place with Christian Vargas, as Emma Kruger runs directly ahead of them. Joshua Michaels, Stephen Gale in the 52. And look at these 2. Finguy and Curtis, they are not wasting time. They need to get these passes made. I'm impressed they're making those passes stick with that level of damage.
Honestly, yeah. I mean, we saw the rear end damage really hurt Zayden Davidson earlier in this race, and that rear end damage similarly not really hurting DJ Curtis. It's similar damage, but not hurting that car as much. And of course, they got that rear panel off the car that theoretically could help the aerodynamics of that car. ask me exactly how that works. I just know that is something that occurs with these race cars. So we'll see what happens with those two. But yeah, they are charging up through this field right now.
It might not be enough for the win, but they certainly proved to the field that they were the best cars, and they probably should have won this race. I guess we'll never know. But now Rasha Mahendra has just checked out to a very impressive lead at this point in the race. It is now almost 0.8 of a second as we were within the final 20 laps. And look at Patrick Smith and Devin Fair. They're charging their way through the field. Smith now up to the 3rd position. Fair also into the top 5.
You know, and this is kind of an analogy just for why certain things matter. You know, for Rasha Mahendra, who is battling for that 3rd position for most of this race, I mean, it was a full 40 or so laps after that first caution that it was just constantly battling, defending, keeping that 3rd position on lock. And it's the all-star race, so the 3rd position really is not that important. The 42 could have laid over. He could have said, I'm not really fast enough to pass the leaders at this point. I'm just going to kind of let these cars go. It seems like they're faster, but he fought hard for that spot. And as it turns out in this race, that was a battle for the lead after so long that Mahendra fought for, and now that he's got that clean air, he has checked out from this field. So it just goes to show that sometimes you don't really know what you're fighting for, but you got to stay in the fight so that you have the opportunity to take advantage when you can.
Meanwhile, Finguy and Curtis have moved up to 18th and 19th places. Very solid efforts, as it looks as though Julio Cesar might have caught the outside wall a little bit out of 4. He's made some gains in this race, as has Ryan Griffin, who finished 2nd in the Open. He started 24th in this race. He's now up into the 8th spot. Probably our biggest mover of the race so far. A very impressive run from this 02 car to transfer in from the Open and to be this far up the field. Very solid effort. Just goes to show you, these Finguy cars came to play today.
Oh yeah, and here's Lattimore, who has been ripping the bottom the last couple of laps.
And he started 20th as well.
Yeah, he made a really nice move in the last lap, and he passed about 4 cars in just one corner. That's just how it is sometimes. And here's a battle for the 2nd position. So the 51 now has gotten the spot from the 62. We'll see if this could possibly lead to a battle for the top position now that the 51 is up to the 2nd place.
So now that Devin Fair has cleared the 52 of Gale, he's got a really big challenge on his hands. He's got an 0.8 of a second lead to try and chase down Mahendra. But if he's going to chase down Mahendra, this is really not going to help his cause, as Stephen Gale in this 52 car is really putting on a charge to try and get that 2nd place back.
Yeah, that's this battling side by side certainly will not help their charge to the front. And here is the 13 car of Lattimore, who is absolutely charging up through the field. And now the 39 is down there on the bottom, so it's still battling in this race. The intensity really has been picking up in the last 5 or so laps of this race. We got less than 10 to go in this one now.
Also, is it just me? Is it just me, or even when Gale and Fair are fighting for 2nd place, they're still tracking down Rasha Mahendra? That gap has gone down by a couple tenths.
Yeah, I agree with you. I've been noticing that as well. It's kind of surprising because usually when there's 2 cars battling, they will slow each other down. But in this case, they're both kind of running their own line at this point, and they have got all the way up to the rear bumper of the 42 car, and we've got a 3-car battle for the lead.
Can Rasha Mahendra hold on to his Cinderella story and delight the crowd by winning in an underdog story in this all-star race? He's got some of the best behind him to try and hang on, including Devin Fair, who won this race last year. He's going for 2, and he's going to the inside of the 42.
And the inside is exactly where he needs to be. He's got to get down there. He's just got to rotate through this corner. There he goes. The 42 slid up the track a little bit. He's going to lead this lap, but he's really not going to have the position that's required to keep the spot into the corner. The 51 goes through as the leader.
Oh, man, and Rasha Mahendra, he cannot give up this race. Not that easily. Not after he spent 40 laps fighting for 3rd place in this race, thinking that was as high as he was going to go. Now he's in contention for the biggest win of his life. He's got to send it in on this 51 as best he can as we come to 5 to go this time.
He's got a great run through the corner right now. We'll see if he sends it down to the bottom lane. He doesn't yet. He's waiting for the right time to make that move, and now the 51 has slid up the track a little bit, so Mahendra down to the bottom again. He's right on the quarter panel. They're side by side for the lead.
And you gotta think at this point in the race, is that damage from that earlier incident starting to catch up to that 42 a little bit? He's not quite where he wants to be. He needs to send it in on this 51. Remember how good he was at that earlier in the race. As Fair goes up the track and hits the wall. That is going to be that is not what Devin Fair needs, but he is able to hold on to the lead for now as we have 3.5 laps to go.
Man, but he kept the lead through all that. He slid all the way up the track. He stayed in the throttle, used that wall to straighten out the car, and he kept the lead after. What a gutsy move from the 51 to stay ahead of Mahendra, who is hard charging from right behind, and the 42 car still in contention but starting to lose some time.
You think this all-star race means nothing. You think because there's no points on the line, this race doesn't mean anything. Look at what Devin Fair was just willing to do to his race car to keep that lead, as we now have 2 laps of racing to go from Lebanon Valley.
That was an incredible move from the 51, honestly. I mean, that car started to get loose and slide up the track, and now here's a hard charge from the 22. I just don't think it's going to be enough in time for the 51 to really lose this thing now, because he's kind of way out there. But honestly, Devin Fair, what a run from this car. I mean, started in the 11th position, and he had that crazy slide. He hit the wall, and that was just a great move.
So Devin Fair, about to break the hearts of 300 million fans watching for Marsha Mahendra. He takes the checkered flag. He goes back-to-back in the one-up all-star race. Devin Fair, a winner again at Lebanon Valley. But boy, Rasha Mahendra put on the drive of his life, and he is rewarded with a 2nd place. I know it's not what he wanted, but this is a really big deal for that team regardless. It shows that they have come to play this season.
Wow, and it's just, didn't get it fully done today. Couldn't close off that win. But, I said at the top of the show that, nobody really remembers who finishes in 2nd place at the All-Star race. But I'll tell you what, this is going to be one of the more memorable 2nd place runs, I think, of an All-Star race that we'll ever have. This 42 car was absolutely fantastic today. But all credit where credit is due. Devin Fair charged up through this field, made the move on the 42, and then defended like crazy. I've never seen a car get so loose in the middle of the corner, slide so far up the track, and then just stay in the throttle off the wall, hoping that nothing breaks on that machine to try to stay in the lead, and man, did it work. That was an incredible end of the race.
He restarted 8th, he clawed his way up, took the lead, and won it all. So, from Duke Gansack and from myself as well, thanks for joining us for quite possibly one of our best all-star races yet. Congratulations to Devin Fair on his 2nd consecutive win in the all-star race. We'll see you again soon for back to points racing, and we're going to be racing on the streets of Dubai for the very first time. That is going to be an absolute thrill ride on that street circuit. That's going to be a whole lot of fun, I'm sure. But until we see you over there, so long from Lebanon Valley. A huge congratulations to Devin Fair, who goes back-to-back in the All-Star race, and I think this race has proven that Rasha Mahendra is very much on the rise in his one-up career.